Hey, it's the Rican, and today I'm gonna get into this transgender issue because there's a story that came across that I was reading, and I came across. I didn't read the whole thing, but I'll just read it with you guys because I just think it's a crazy story. I just want to share a thing that happened to me today when uh, there's a lady I'm friendly with at the community pool, and we were talking, and I told her I liked my time in Texas. I really enjoyed Texas. Um, and she was just there like, "Oh, I don't know how you could like Texas because you got Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz is so bad." And I'm like, how is he so bad? Do you know why he's bad? He's a conspiracy theory. And I go, I voted for him. Oh, don't tell me you're a conspiracy theory too. And I'm just there like, no, I know my stuff. I watch. And she goes, she goes, I go, well, you just can't get one side. You got to get different news sources. And she goes, oh, I get MSNBC, CNN, CBS. And I'm like, that is one side of the story. She goes, well, I'm on the side of truth. And I'm like, no, this is the whole thing. My mind, she won't listen to me. She's on that Democrat plantation and there ain't no getting her off. Um, it's just sad. But I try to, this is what's making the people go crazy is you have MSNBC, you have CBS, CNN, and especially MSNBC is the worst. Um, they pass opinion off as news. And that's the problem. That's what's making this, then you go on social media and you get confirmation bias and bam, there's no, oh, well, you know, uh, what is it? News has a liberal bias. Yes, because all you people are just, you know, um, it's a circle jerk of self pleasure when it comes to these people um, and their news. But, anyways, I don't want to go too much into that. Um, I just wanted to quickly touch about this story because uh, I gotta, I know I got a headache. I know you guys don't want to hear about that, but I do, and I'm just pushing through because I like to make something every day. So here's something I came across that I was just like, wait, say what? I'm like, this is. Can you give me a foreign doctor that's not learning this woke nonsense? Some medical schools now teaching that biological sex is a social construct. Let's go through this article real quick. Last month, Katie Herzog published a piece in which doctors warned that woke ideology was taking over the field of medicine. Wokeness feels like an existential threat, one doctor told Herzog. Today, Herzog has a follow-up piece from the perspective of a medical student. The student's real identity isn't shared on the piece because she fears repercussions. Instead, Herzog refers to her simply as Lauren. The piece opens with Lauren recalling a professor who apologized profusely during a lecture for using the phrase pregnant woman. Pregnant woman. It wasn't the first time Lauren had heard an instructor apologize for using that language. To most Americans, would seem utterly inoffensive. Words like male and female. Why would medical school professors apologize for referring to a patient's biological sex? Because Lauren explains, in the context of her medical school, acknowledging biological sex can be considered transphobic. When sex is acknowledged by her instructors, it's sometimes portrayed as a social construct, not a biological reality, she says. In a lecture on transgender health, an instructor declared biological sex, sexual orientation, and gender are all constructs. These are all constructs that we have created. In other words, some of the country's top medical students are being taught that humans are not like other mammals, a species comprising two sexes. The notion of sex they are learning is a man-made creation. Oh my god. Look, this is where we worry too much about people's feelings. Look, fuck your feelings, okay? There's a difference between males and females. It's in every other species. Some species, the female is bigger than the male. Some species, the male is bigger than the female. Look, take the average man, and he will be stronger than the average woman. Why? Because we have higher levels of testosterone. Okay, the testosterone helps us build muscles. That's why it's easier for men to bulk up, and why it's harder for women, even though women could get cut up by working out. It's harder for them to bulk up because their levels of testosterone. Um, so this is crazy town when we're allowing people's feelings to portray to distort reality. And if I go into um, a hospital, I don't want them to go, well, I don't want to assume his gender, so let's give him a pregnancy test. I don't need a pregnancy test. Why are you going to charge me for a pregnancy test I don't need? I'm not pregnant. Now, if you want to say you want to use that test because it could diagnose other things, yeah, fine, man, whatever. But you're not charging me that for a pregnancy test to check if I'm pregnant because I'm a male. But speaking of that, so I'm just going to talk about this here. This is a transgender tragedy. This baby died because the mother's medical records listed her as male. This is from 2019. Transgendered man entered a hospital with severe abdominal pains. Because she was identified as a man, the doctor naturally did not think to treat her for labor and delivery, so she tragically lost a baby. Rather than emphasizing the danger of placing gender identity over biological sex, both the Journal and the Washington Post made the absurd claim that the hospital should not have ruled out pregnancy for a man. And goes the craziness. It doesn't matter what you identify as. You could identify as whatever you want, but when you go see a doctor, you tell them I identify as a man, but biologically I'm a female. So I don't have a penis, I have a vagina. Even if you've had the surgery, you still may have you probably still, I don't know how these surgeries work, but you probably still have like your some inner workings, probably your ovaries and that stuff. You might still have it in there. So they still have to know that stuff, because when it comes to our chromosomes, your chromosomes don't change just because you have a sex change. Your chromosomes don't change just because you what you identify as. So do you identify as whatever you want when you go, but stop trying to for stop trying to change medicine to suit you. You're a man, you're a woman that identifies as the opposite sex. So be it. You could say I identify as a woman, although I'm a man. Although biologically I'm a man. My chromosomes are XY. That's it. So they can know what to look out for. But you can't go, well, their medical records. You can't go to on your medical records and go, I'm a male when you're a woman. It's crazy town. You want to be treated correctly, they need to know. You can't, especially in when you're going to a hospital, when you're going to an emergency room, they need to know these things about you quickly. You can't play your mental identity games and then get mad when they misdiagnose you when you tell them you're the wrong sex. It's just insane. There's I anyways, damn, that's just I wanted to talk about this story because it is crazy that in hospital in medical schools, give me a foreign doctor, because hopefully this wokeness nonsense is not going into foreign hospitals. And hopefully it's just, localized to our crazy country. So, anyways, I'm gonna leave it there because, like I said, I got a headache. I just wanted to touch this story, and obviously, you can see it aggravates me. Um, so uh, I don't know how it feels on your end. This is why I'm like, stop pushing this shit on us. Okay, stop. Do you? Uh, don't force me to um accommodate you, especially when it comes to the medical field. I will, you want to be called, he, she, whatever. I don't care. You want to, you don't want to be, Bobby. You want to be Bobby because you're, now you identify as a female or whatnot. I don't care. I'll call you whatever you want. Just stop trying to push this into the medical school. Stop trying to push this on children. Stop confusing medical doctors and stop confusing little kids. That's it. That's all I ask. Do whatever you want. Call me, call me whatever phobe you want to call me in the book. I don't care. It doesn't bother me because I know I'm not. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. I'm the Rican. I post these on YouTube and Rumble. If you're subscribed on YouTube, then please subscribe also on Rumble and vice versa. Uh, and you could follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, and I'll leave it there. Have a good one, everyone. I'm out of here.